All right, back on some more Minecraft today. Been over a week since I've uploaded. And normally I try to daily upload, keyword try. I haven't been successful in that, but I'm actually going to create a new world from last time just because the custom seed I used on the last world was just kind of lame. But yeah, so I found this seed. It's pretty cool. You spawn like here, and then there's a bunch of cool structures. There's a mansion over there, and then there's a bunch of mushroom islands, so it should be fun. I haven't uploaded in a while, and honestly, it's just because of my horrendous sleep schedule comboed with insomnia. That's been really fun. I've considered going to like a doctor or something to get it looked at or like figure something out. Because, I mean, I've had insomnia for like almost 10 years at this point. And recently, to try to counteract that, I've basically just been going to sleep like ridiculously early. I'm talking like 5, 6, 7 p.m. and waking up at sometimes like 4 or 5 a.m., which from a sleep schedule point of view actually isn't that bad, but I still end up laying in bed a few hours, at least completely awake before I end up falling asleep. So yeah, definitely a little annoying for sure. The plan was not just to come on here and yap about how shitty my sleep schedule was. I kind of wanted to talk about relationships. And I'm not just talking about, like an interest or something like that. I'm talking about the whole scope of it. Something I'm not very good at that has recently come to my attention. A few days ago, I was catching up with some friends from high school that I haven't seen, in quite a few years. And this whole time, I haven't really realized how long it actually has been since I've talked to them. But I was kind of locked in on what I have been doing and just didn't even really think about it. It didn't even cross my mind. And something like that is kind of concerning. And where I'm going with this is one, it's something I definitely need to work on. And two, relationships are just difficult. It's really hard to keep a friendship with someone or really any sort of relationship. Either you guys live far away from each other, you just have very different schedules. It's very difficult. I think it's a lot easier to just kind of let it almost rot. I wouldn't even say rot, but just not to attend to it at all, than try to put in an effort, And I think that sucks. And then on the flip side of that, there's also this idea that, if you aren't constantly talking to someone, then there must be something wrong, or you did something wrong, or they hate you now, which I've never understood that ideology. Just because someone is, maybe doing their own thing or isn't making you a part of their everyday life, that somehow now they hate you. I've never understood that. I mean, understanding that you have to spend time with so many different groups of people. I mean, just take family members, for instance. I mean, if you still have your grandparents around, you got your grandparents, you have your parents, maybe cousins, aunts, uncles, so all of that. And not to mention, if you have different friend groups, it's a lot to deal with. But yeah, I just found that kind of interesting. And obviously, it does come with age. As you get older, it just becomes that more difficult to maintain relationships with other people. Just because, people are starting to figure out their lives. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of an interesting discovery that I've figured out about myself. In other news, the new Avatar: The Last Airbender movie got leaked, as most people know. I am probably one of the few people who have actually not watched it. And I've done that on purpose. I've found multiple links to where you can just straight up go watch it. I feel like a terrible person if I were to do that. And it's not really the pirating aspect. I could care less about that. It's just that the Avatar: The Last Airbender series as a whole is pretty much my favorite series or any sort of media that has ever come out. And I know I'm not alone in that. That's not like a crazy take or anything. It's just, it is that good. Personally, I've been waiting on an actual good movie because, as we know, the few renditions that we've tried to make a movie or the recent live action have all been kind of flops. And it's just sad when that happens to something that you enjoy so much. Whereas it seems like this movie is extremely good. And I was hoping for a theatrical release because I wanted to support it, but also because I think it would be a good experience. I want to point out that them moving it to, I think it's Paramount Plus, right? But either way, them moving it to that kind of does exactly the opposite of what I think they want, which is kind of like a, we'll make money at least if we put it on our subscription. By you guys putting it locked behind a subscription service, now everyone's gonna pirate it. Instead, whereas if you guys put it in theaters, people would buy tickets to go watch it in a theater just for that experience. And now you've taken that away. So that kind of sucks. I did not want to talk about it just because it got leaked, right? That's not my point. I would much rather see people go watch it in theaters, and I implore people to go do that. I do not think watching the pirated version is a good thing. And that is coming from someone who absolutely hates all the subscription-based services for like TV shows and movies. I think that is terrible. That's basically what's been going on. Gonna be back to the regular upload schedule, of course. But yeah,